Patrons!
How are we doing?
All right, Trev.
How are we doing?
I'm the big boys.
With the big boys, yeah. Well, we say that in the actual show because we want people to know they're big boys.
Oh, we want them to know they're big boys as well. We've got a stroke.
They know. They get to see every morning when they wake up. Am I right? Yes.
How are we doing? Good week?
Yeah, I was asking you, mate.
Just asking people in general. Good
Well,
week?
you were both looking at me. I felt like it was a job interview.
Yeah, so, and what type of biscuit do you think you are?
I like to think of custard cream.
Okay.
I'm not overly sweet, but I do have a nice sweet centre.
But dull overall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say dull. I'd say
you're more of a rich
average.
tea.
Average.
Rich tea.
Yeah. Absolute no backbone.
Whoa, how dare you? Rich tea are some of the most robust biscuits going.
They are ridiculous. You can't dip them in tea.
A digestive is bad for dipping. Everyone's like, oh, digestives. Yeah. They go soggy in an instant, alright? Rich tea
You ever seen, is it Peter Kay stand-up? When he talks about the biscuits.
He does talk about
the biscuits. Like, rich tea are like, I think he might even, does he call them the puffs of biscuits?
I mean, that's probably
We're going
true.
back, this is like late 90s, early 2000s, so it's still not acceptable.
And that's very, very early.
But,
it's very much Peter Kay.
But I think he calls it the puffs, and he's like, they just dip a toe in the hot drink, and they're like, oh! He says, and then you get hobnobs, and they're like the Marines. They're like, dip me again! Dip me! He's like, by the time you finish, you look down, your tea's gone! He's like, yeah, fucker. That's what I do to you. But it's so true, hobnobs, mate, they are fucking...
Not fond of hobnobs.
No, I like the chocolate coated ones.
What biscuits are you guys, do you think?
There's only one biscuit that's ever been for me. In fact, when I think I was 7 or 8 years old, my mum asked me what my dream was. And I said that my dream was to live on a beach.
Right, good start.
Eating bourbon creams. That was it.
Okay.
And my mum was like, and that's your life dream? And I went, yeah. Achievable dreams. Plan achievable dreams. You'll nail that shit. Where do I fucking live? Near the beach. What do I eat? Bourbon creams. Fucking champion. Thank you very much.
Life
goals, mate.
Favourite biscuits. I'm probably going to say these wrong.
Well, you just do that anyway.
So I just call them.
Make up a world.
I just say
a world? Did a list.
Fuck.
I say to Sarah all the time, can you just get me a pack of swells? But the Viennese swells.
Yeah. Oh, they're a bit poncy, mate.
Yeah.
Do
you know me? Do you know me?
You seem vaguely surprised. Okay.
I love
that. After his whole tea comments there, I was ready for a good, honest biscuit.
Just like Lewis, all words.
Oh,
no delivery.
Or as someone said at school, all fart, no poo.
Wow,
I like that.
Who said that?
A chick who was talking about. She was talking about someone who kept saying they're going to come to Staff Fitness, and she was like, they're all fart, no poo. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. How I never heard that before. Like,
good
I do like
that.
I have to say this. So last night, Sarah and I we watched the Glow thing on about the documentary.
Yeah.
And we were in the front row, and I was like, what do you want to watch? She was like, put on anything you want. And I said to you last week, I'm watching IT Crowd again.
Yeah.
Just so she was like, oh, don't really like. I was like, have you ever seen it? She's like, oh, a long time ago. So we watched the end of season 1,
right?
Because that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And she's like, is that Noel Fielding? I think he's fucking hilarious in it. Richmond from the
he's great. Yeah, he's excellent.
And she was like, oh, it's a bit weird. And we watched the start of the first one of episode season 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was no doubt one of the funniest things I've seen. It's the one where they go to watch the gay theatre show.
Undeceivable.
Yes, that one. And they wheel him back in. The part where they wheel him back in, I was literally crying with laughter. Sarah was literally crying with laughter. I was like, you don't find this funny? She was like, it's fucking brilliant.
That is probably the best episode.
And how long have you been disabled for? About 10 years. And she turns around to get a drink and Moss is behind the bar.
Yeah. Got the towel over.
Yeah,
he's like cleaning glasses.
He's like, what can I get you, lady?
Yeah. I love it. At the end of the episode in the credits, he's like, everyone's going over, he's like, evening, Roy.
Yeah.
He's like saying bye to everyone who works at the pub.
You reminded me of it literally a minute ago when he thought I was looking at you. Because in the same episode, he was like, would you like to go to the theatre tonight? And Moss was like, I'd love to.
Yeah.
He's like, you were looking at me. He wasn't looking at you. I honestly, I forgot how funny that programme was. I've not seen it for long enough to forget most of the jokes.
Yeah.
So I watched again, I've completely forgot about Richmond. I literally forgot about him.
He's kind of a weird.
And then when he came out, I was like, oh my god, I forgot he's in this. And then he's like the light.
I'll tell you what I watched again recently, which is brilliant from the same sort of group of people, was Toast of London.
I've never watched it.
I saw
Jesus
a lot
Christ,
again a long
it's
time
amazing.
ago.
So good, but it's so bad. It's just I love it. If you haven't watched Toast of London, look it up. I think it's BBC iPlayer or something.
Yeah, I
like
think you're a bit iPlayer.
that. Look it up.
It's going.
That's more for Brian, that bit, because
All right.
They don't make.
he's in Canada, so
I suppose he wouldn't know.
you probably missed some of that. But Toast of London, you're gonna love it.
We don't
I'm
make.
sure Trev's probably watched it.
I expect so.
They don't make comedies like that anymore, do they? Or they literally don't. I was just say, Sarah, like they don't make stupid comedies like that anymore. They're all
Yeah, I
like.
kind of see what you mean. Yeah, you don't really get many on.
Every now and again, you get a group of comedians who come through. So you had Richard Ayoade and you had the other guys from
What's
the
his
IT
name?
Ground.
Daniel, the Irish guy.
Chris O'Dowd.
Chris O'Dowd. Thank
Yeah.
you. always want to say Daniel O'Dowd.
But you have this group of people who come through at one time who were great. So you had the young ones.
Yeah.
You had Ed Edmondson and Rick Mail and all of that line. They went off and did other things. And you had Lenny Henry at the same time, and French and Saunders went off and did great things. And then there was a whole dry period.
Because Sarah's a big fan of Vicar of Dibley, and I'd never really watched it. And I watched a bit of her, and I was like, actually, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say brilliant, but it's a lot funnier than I
Very
thought
popular
it'd
though.
It's very, very BBC funny.
One thing
it's suitable for the whole family.
One thing I couldn't get into was Ab Fab, absolutely fabulous.
I've seen clips of that, and I've never.
Really I've watched a couple of episodes. My ex used to love it, and I would watch it and be like, "This is just not funny." Like,
I've actually known way too many people who are actually like those ones and come from exactly the same fashion background that I sit and watch it and go, "Well, I didn't realise documentaries were supposed to be funny."
Yeah.
This is.
Have you? I think the absolute pits of British comedy at the moment is Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Yes.
yeah, I'm not a big fan.
That is the worst.
No, do you know, I'll be honest. When it first came on, I didn't mind the first couple of seasons,
Right.
because it felt like it was doing that in-your-face kind of tongue-in-cheek humour that was so big in the 70s, like what you got from One Foot in the Grave and almost Only Fools and Horses. Like, it felt like that kind of similar trends, but
It's
now
bread, isn't it?
now it's kind of just gone too far. You know, it's just
The film. Have you seen the film?
no.
I was in a bar. I was in the garden at a bar, and they had a TV on the wall, and it was playing Mrs. Brown's Boys. I don't know why the fuck it was playing that, but I was watching it because the subtitles on, because I couldn't hear any of it because the music played, obviously. But I was just thinking, like, fucking hell, this is dog shit.
Can I just take that back? So, you're in a bar
Yeah.
with music playing.
Yeah, I was thinking
you're
the
on a
same.
night out, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
And you sat and watched a movie in subtitles.
I didn't watch the whole film, to be clear. I went into the garden because we were smoking.
Like,
and then I was
I'm
like,
watching a film.
Yeah, the movie's on.
the film was on, and I was.
Everyone
It
else
just
there.
called me in.
Everyone else there like, come on, Tom, fucking keggers, let's live this. He's
And I
like,
was
whoa,
shh,
Mrs. Brown.
guys.
I'm trying to read.
Yeah.
Turn to the band. Oi! Trying to watch this film over here, mate.
Would you not be fascinated by Mrs. Brown's Boys playing in a bar?
I've got to admit, yeah, I'd probably stop for a moment and go,
I've only
what the
seen a
fuck is
film
going
on in a bar once, and it was in London, and they were playing Shaun of the Dead, and I genuinely was like, just watching the film more than I should have been. Perhaps spending conversing with my friends.
That makes more sense because it's a good film. So,
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
sense. That comes from that
helps.
same sort of era of great comedy.
Yeah.
Should we go into the podcast?
Should we do podcasts?
The podcast.
Let's podcast.
What's up, and welcome to Indie Credible Podcast episode 51, a weekly podcast we get together and chat about the world of indie gaming. We go through all the indie games we've been playing, we go through the latest indie game news, and we cover an indie game topic. This week, we're going to be talking about, at the end, do we think indie games are too cheap? Should they go up a little bit in price? And if they do go up in price, would we, or do we reckon you guys would be willing to pay that extra money for them? With me, as always, is Dan.
Hello.
And Tom.
Hi.
I should probably say I'm Lewis. The names are here now anyway. So if you're blind, then you can hear us. If you're,
Or is the audio version?
Yeah.
Or is the audio version?
Yeah.
You can't hear it.
So yeah, or they could be blind. Come on. It's not just
Sorry, I'm not very
What if they're
inclusive.
deaf?
It's very ableist.
then they can watch us.
That'd be really dull because we don't do subtitles.
No, but they can
So
get
if someone out
action.
there is willing to do subtitles on
But
these
quite a few
episodes,
deaf people
please
can
go.
lip read, can't they?
Yeah, that's why I like to put my hand in my
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Just to
I don't
piss off the
I
deaf.
don't want the deafs to know what I'm saying, you
Don't want the
know.
deaf.
The deafs, you know.
I love how
Best
PC we
grouping
are.
of
We're so
everything.
PC on this podcast. It's incredible. How's the week been anyway, gents? Obviously, we spoke
Still
about
okay.
it. We've already
Still okay.
Yeah.
We've already spoken that.
Yeah,
It's
did-
fucking sweet because you know what happened today?
Broke up from school.
Broke up from school. Yes!
Indeedios. That's nice.
I've already had 2 gins.
I saw your.
I've had a
I
double
saw
whiskey.
you. Cool, he's all
And
over
I've been
it.
playing some retro games. I'm a happy man.
All over it. I've been playing games, but not retro games.
Wow.
But yeah, if you wonder why
Still
we,
like full-time,
why the boys say, if you wonder why the boys say still good, it's because we have a pre-show that's exclusive to our patrons. $1 a month will get you pre and post-show content. It's around about 20 minutes a week, where we talk about our week. We talk about stuff we've been watching, playing, events we've been to, stuff we've
General
done.
chit-chat.
Yeah, just
General.
absolute general bants and chat and conversations. And yeah, I'm going to stop there.
Bit of
But yeah,
balance.
Pure bounce.
that's $1 a month. But you can find us on all podcast services. We're even on Spotify now, so you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podomatic, whatever other ones that you may use. iTunes is a big one that I forgot to say. And you can find us on YouTube. And if you're wondering what's the point of watching us in video form, then
So am I.
not a lot really.
We've all been asking that question.
The biggest thing is that every game we talk about, the trailer is being played behind us. So it gives you a bit of context. So maybe if we're talking about a game in a news section or a game we're playing and you think, that sounds interesting, then maybe time mark it, head over to YouTube and you can check the actual game out behind us. And we normally have links to the trailers below as well in the YouTube description. But enough of me banging on. Let's start as we always do
what she
with
said.
what we...
Got a lot tonight. Yeah.
Got all of them.
Yeah.
Got all of them.
what we've been playing. Who wants to kick off what we've played this week?
I'm going to start actually.
Wow.
'cause-
Good, I'm interested
Mainly
to see
because
this.
I've had no internet. My internet is down. Thank you, Sky. So I haven't been able to play a lot. But I did, just before it went down, manage to get hold of the Spectrum Retreat.
You did, yes.
So I've been looking forward to this game ever since going to EGX. Well, before EGX Resed, the Spectrum Retreat was one of the games I was really looking forward to going to see.
Yeah.
And then I went to Res. Well,
Yeah.
we went to Res.
You spoke highly about it as well.
Oh, I was so excited. He sold it really well.
Yep.
So it's Dan Smith with Riptide.
Riptide published it, yep.
Yeah,
No, Ripstone.
Ripstone. Sorry.
Ripstone.
Is Riptide a surf company?
Riptide is a song, Riptide is a surf company, and
Yeah.
Riptide is a scientific formula in the sea. Carry on.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But
No, okay,
so
yeah.
had a chat with him, and it was when I sat down and played. It was a very, I'm going to say it's a very generic puzzler game.
It's literally
When
what
I
I said in the
sat down and
podcast.
played it, it was very much you're going to use colours to move through different areas, very much like your portals and bits like that. And I sat and I played it, and to be honest, at that point I was like, okay, you need to do a little bit more. So I actually
Yeah.
stopped and I spoke to him, and he went, well, actually, if you turn around at the start, I'll show you something else. And he took me into a hotel. And honestly, that was the moment it changed. And then I got to play the game, and it's it's still there.
Yeah.
It's not everything I hoped it'd be, but to be honest, my expectations were so through the fucking roof
Which is not like you,
for
really.
a
Yeah.
small man team.
Yeah.
He's
It's him
started
and a
off as
couple
one
of
guy, but
others.
he hired in a couple of extras to
Yeah,
help
just to
with
try and finish it
some,
off and do
like,
bits.
finesse and sound design
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah,
Is it
Oh.
released now?
yeah, it's
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
It's
It's
out.
on PS4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC.
Yeah.
It is on the Switch.
And it's £9 on Steam. I don't know what it is on PlayStation because
It's $9.99 because I have just bought it. I was going to wait to hear what you thought of it. I was looking through the store today, and it was $9.99, and I was like,
just buy.
when I saw you didn't get the platinum because there isn't a platinum.
There isn't a
you
platinum.
got 100%.
I did two
In, like,
run-throughs and I completed it, but the
Yeah.
fact it made me want to do two run-throughs.
It's
always
I'm a bit of a
excited
trophy
me.
horse. So that's
You're a trophy horse.
partly
So
why I
it's
bought
nice
it. I
and
was like, I
easy.
get so many trophies in 2.5 hours. Sweet.
But there's no platinum.
So the story is that when you're in the hotel, you've got to repeat the same day over and over again to make the AI system restart, basically. So by doing certain tasks during the day, you make it reinitiate certain algorithms and programs
And
to allow
that's it.
you to continue.
I assume it gets more complicated as you go along. Trying to imitate the same things each time.
See, that's what I wanted.
Right.
It never actually does that,
Ah, okay.
which is it's my only disappointment with the game.
Yeah.
But to be honest, to do that, they'd have needed more money, more time,
Yeah.
a bigger team, and I think there's a point with any indie game you've just got to go, look, we've got to get this out because we've spent all our funds on it. Now, if we make enough money from this, maybe we can do a number 2 and we can emphasise that part. And the hotel is stunning, and it really fucks with your mind. Anytime I was walking through the halls, it's just The Shining. And what's even better is, as you walk through the halls, you'll end up looping round on yourself in a way that doesn't make sense at all. So you can walk
Like
away
PT.
from an elevator and you go, right, I'm going to head north.
Yeah.
And you'll head north, and then all of a sudden you'll take a left, and the elevator's there, and you're like, that doesn't make sense. How does that work? But it's all done on purpose. It's all there to fuck with you. And there is I'm not going to ruin it, but there is a beautiful moment in the library where I full on cacked myself. Full on. And I wasn't even in a dark room with headphones on or anything. There was just one moment, and what's even better is my daughter had just gone to bed, right? And then she must have heard the best scream ever. Because she went in and went, "Are you alright, Dad?" And I went, "It's fine enough. It's fine, just go to bed. Dad's going to be okay." Because there's just this moment, and it's from watching a lot of films, you know how you get that beautiful moment of camera work, and there's a moment where the camera stutters before it turns, and it's not a lot of horror films will do jump scares, and they're very, you can see them coming, and it's just like, I saw if they're done, which most are, to be honest,
the majority,
this is done. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah,
that one moment in there was just, okay, these guys need more money to make a number 2 so they can make that part of the hotel. The hotel is the best part. The puzzle side is good, but it's nothing new. And I caned it. You know, there were no puzzles I really struggled with. But then again, I found Portal really easy and Portal 2 really easy. And I understand that some people out there did struggle with those. I didn't. I caned those games. But they were good enough to keep you going. There's only 34 puzzles.
Okay.
So it's not massive on that side, but the hotel and the concept behind it is brilliant. There's right near the end, it'd be really nice if there was one extra twist. If you played this game, I'd guess, what do you think I would have liked the twist to be? Stick it in the comments down below or anywhere, because if you played it, there's very definite ideas that they kind of mess around with.
Okay.
Right. And as I say, the story can be ruined very easily. You know, once you've played it once, you've got the story.
Yeah.
Where's it sitting in contention for your... Is it going to be in your chat for Indie Game of the Year at the end for you?
Yeah, because I've really enjoyed it.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, okay. It's one of those games that... It's not perfect, and I don't think it will be Indie Game of the Year, but out of what I've played so far...
Yeah.
It's a contender.
It's a contender for this year's Indie Game, yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
And then that's it, because of course...
Internet's gone.
I can't get any other games, I'm just sitting there crying.
Well, I have some treats for us next week anyway, but I'll tell you about after the show.
Pornhub subscriptions.
So, have you played anything?
Yeah.
What have you played?
I love the way you always ask, have you played anything? Because to be honest, I doubt it.
Yeah, that is why I ask it,
Yeah. I played 2 games a lot this week.
Oh, yeah?
2 very similar games.
Okay.
One of them was H1Z1.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And one of them was what I've come to learn is a superior game, PUBG Mobile.
Okay.
Because
I've been playing that at work, at lunch.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was hoping you just weren't going to add the at lunch. I'd be playing that at work.
So, I don't do
Bitching
much
out about
work.
us being at a holiday. You just sit there playing PUBG.
Boss is like, you going to be on any speakers, yeah?
Fuck off.
But yeah, no, me, my boss, and another guy at work, he's there also, been playing it together at lunch, and it's like genuinely a well put together mobile game, and I don't think I've ever said that in my entire life.
A lot of people say they think it's better than the Fortnite mobile game.
See, I've not touched that.
They just think the controls on it work better as a mobile game than Fortnite.
But still,
I can't
I'd be interested to give that a go.
You
Because I
still
thought
get
the one on
the-
Fortnite was quite good.
That's what I thought, yeah.
The usual issues with mobile touchscreen controls, because they're never going to be anywhere near as good as an actual controller or a keyboard or whatever. For example, the analog stick, the virtual analog stick's like right next to a shoot button, and I constantly will just put my thumb on the shoot button and like that up the wall, wasting my precious ammo and telling everyone where I am.
Where you are, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn it! And like we all do it when we're all playing. So like you hear gunshots and one of them go, "That was me." So we really don't think we could be a shot at. But like genuinely good.
Nice.
It literally is just PUBG, but on a smaller scale.
mobile.
It's maps exactly the same. So I can't see what's different other than graphics and controls.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's good fun. It's good fun. It's better than H1Z1.
Yeah.
Which I know is in beta, but it's just missing a lot compared to PUBG. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I played.
Well, I'll quickly jump off the back of that then, because I have jumped back on because Darwin Project is now free to play on Xbox. Right. So I jumped back on to try that out, and I played a couple of games of that, and was like, this is just still really good. It's just so different to the other stuff. So like the fact that you start with a bow and arrow and there are no other weapons, you have a bow and arrow, and you level up your bow and arrow to do more damage, or you level up your axe to harvest quicker, and there's no building like there is in Fortnite. It just feels different enough, like I said, and I really like that. And then when I was there, I kind of jumped out and I just saw PUBG and I was like, oh, I'll jump in this and see what it's like. And it's like,
better now, isn't it?
It was a new map, so I was struggling because I've not played a new map.
That's on mobile as well.
I was struggling on the new map, but it runs, dare I say it, better than Fortnite now. Like Fortnite, you still have some issues where you do, like I was playing your brother earlier, and I tried to shoot this guy, and he was here, then he was over here, then he was over here, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And like, there's certain things happen on Fortnite that don't happen often. When they happen, they're infuriating. And maybe if I played PUBG more, I'd come across them more. But
that's probably fair.
The 3 or 4 games I played of them, it ran like a full release. It was as smooth as anything. It was absolutely perfect. And again, dare I say it, the gunplay feels so much nicer on PUBG than it does on Fortnite, because it feels like a shooting game. Fortnite feels like an arcade shooting game.
Yeah.
Whereas PUBG feels like a shooting game. But I will say between the two, I still prefer playing Fortnite. I don't know, I can't say why, but no.
Yeah, well, it's the arcade style to it. I
That's
mean,
probably
the arcade bit of Fortnite is just, this is a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as you
PUBG feels very. So Fortnite, if I'm playing on my own, if I get in the top 5, I don't get all like I used to when I was first started playing, all nervous and like, oh god. But now I'm just like, I just run around to it. In Fortnite, but in PUBG, if I'm even in the top 20, I don't know if it's because it's realistic visuals or what, but it's so much more tense. I feel like it's so much more like, fuck, like, I've got really quiet creeping around here. And if I see a vehicle, I like run and hide. If I see a vehicle in Fortnite, I'm like running after it to try and shoot it. Like,
but that's the difference between the arcade.
That's probably
more
it.
realistic, isn't it?
But
sorry, while we're on topic of Battle Royale games, I don't know if it's in the news, but did you hear about the Culling 2?
But
Yes.
What a fucking shit show.
Yeah. Well, so they're refunding people, and they're
like the 5 people who bought it.
Yeah, and they've invested all the money into the culling and made the culling free to play. So, but I did hear about that. 3 games I did play. 3 other games played. 2 I spoke quickly about last week. I can speak more about this week because they're done. They're reviewed. Reviews will be up, one on Saturday, one will be up on Monday. And the first one is The Moose Man. So The Moose Man is available now on PS4 and Nintendo Switch. It's, as I said, the kind of 2D side-scrolling puzzle adventure game is the best way to describe it. You play as the Moose Man, and the Moose Man is half human, half god. And it's set in kind of folklore, it's Russian folklore, what I found out. And the ability of the Moose Man is he can see, he or she, I guess it's a he because man.
Moose Man.
They can see what the mortal eye can't. So by pressing circle on the controller, you can see like these cave paintings behind. And then sometimes things in the environment, like a log will all of a sudden turn into a snake. Or a bush will turn into like a snail. And then you have basic puzzle elements where by turning onto that, then walking towards the snake is scared of the Moose Man, so the snake will move away from you, so you move it over a gap, come out of the vision, and then now the log's over a gap, you can walk over it.
See, yeah.
It starts off very, it's fine. Like the narrative, there's a lot of reading. I'll say that now. You find these totem poles and you click on them, and they're not spoken to you. You kind of have to read the text, but it's very interesting reading. I looked forward to reading each one because I was finding about these spirits, finding about these gods and stuff I have no idea about. Could I recite any of it now and tell you what it said? Probably not. But at the time, I was like, oh, this yen god's quite cool. This is quite cool. Oh, that's quite cool. The issue is, it never becomes a challenge. What's there is great. What's there is nice. It's very pretty. It works perfectly well. The lore is very nice. I really like the story behind it. But even to the boss fights, these boss fights come about and they get quite tense, but they're not hard tense. They're just tense because it looks so good. But then you're like, oh, actually, I just moved to this platform here and press this switch. And then I come back and then you're like, oh, I've done the boss. I was playing it when I was online with your brother. And I was like, oh, I've just killed the spider. And he was like, really? You just started it? I was like, yeah. Like, I literally done 3 switches and it's dead. Like, I expected that to then make another mechanic come and another mechanic come. That's all exception for one thing. There's a fish boss fight where it's a pike, and that is fucking brilliant. It's one of the best puzzle boss fights I've ever had. You have to kind of like the pike's got an eyesight that's like a light beam, and you have to like constantly switch in and out of this kind of vision mode to move stuff so it can't see you when you're under the bed, and it's very good. It works so well. Other than that, the game never gets to heights it has potential to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the review will be up the review for that one will be up tomorrow. It's at the end of the day, it's a good game. It's a perfectly good game. Is it great? No. It works fine. The warning I'll say is there's a lot of reading. If you didn't read the stuff in there, you'd be like, what the hell's going on? Like, you have to read the stuff.
Yeah.
And it only takes 2 hours to finish, so it's not very long. Be interesting to see the price they release it at. If it's like I know we're going to talk about this later on, but again, if that's £10 game, that is too much for that game because it does almost feel quite mobile-y. I've checked; it's not a mobile game, but it does sometimes feel a little bit mobile-y. Yep. So another game I played was Candle with Power of the Flame. Dan said it right.
Sounds like an old 80s band with their first album. Or their first song.
It says the band's Candle.
Candle.
Power of the Flame.
Their song, Power of
it
the
does,
Flame.
doesn't it?
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Everyone listens to Power of the Flame.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But there's lots of them going, holding a hand out and then putting it in,
But there's
feeling it and then releasing.
Yeah, imagine the elongated note of flame when they sing.
Yeah,
right.
There's
Belinda Carlisle could do it. And then I could do Belinda Carlisle.
there is a game called Candle Power of the Flame.
Oh, there's it as well.
By Teku Studios, which, funny enough, is the character you play is Teku. Now, this game first loaded it up and was blown away. Visuals, animations, charming as anything. The soundtrack, brilliant. Like everything just was. I was like, wow, this is so nice. The first hour, I was like, wow, the puzzles in here are really hard, but logical, makes sense. Like this is really, really well built. Then I spent about another hour of it. So 2 hours in, I started to feel like I could see some cracks. I was like, okay. My biggest concerns were it never let up on the puzzles. So it was puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle after puzzle. So there's no time for you to go, fucking hell, I've done that puzzle finally. Revel in the success a little bit. Get some story. Because you've never actually done the puzzle. You do the puzzle and you're like, oh, now I've got rid of this. And then also it takes like a classic point-and-click adventure route where there's lots of items involved with the puzzle. So you have to go here to get the item, which leads to a lot of backtracking. You're going, you know where you got to go, and that's the issue. And there's no fast teleport system. So you have to spend maybe 3 minutes going through the map to get this item, to then go back, to then drop it off here, to then go back and do this. And then you get stuck again. You're like, oh. So I got sent a second code, and I gave it, like I said, I gave it to your brother because I was like, I need someone to play this with because I'm really confused on this game. And we had I didn't have a deadline, but I wanted to get it reviewed.
Yeah. And
I was struggling. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's 3 acts, and halfway through the second act, I was like, this doesn't make sense. I've done everything I possibly can. So your brother jumped on it, and then we played it on Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
For 5 hours straight, co-opted it. So we were playing it together, and I was like, oh, this works. Oh, this works. That is a bad game.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. A bad game. So review's done.
So how did Tom tell you it was a bad game? My little brother Tom.
Tom was a bit nicer on it than I was.
I don't believe that for a second.
Surprising.
Only with score.
And I will check with him.
Yeah, no, only with score. He thought I was scoring it too harshly.
Okay.
So I scored it at 4.5.
Right.
He said it should be about 5. So we both agreed. We both picked up on different things. And we had a nice conversation afterwards, about half an hour of like, I was like, oh, this. And I wrote my review and I spoke to him. I was like, oh, I'm adding this in. He was like, oh, yeah, like that's perfectly fine. Like, and as a game, it's well built. It, like, as I said, the animations are stunning. The artwork is stunning. The soundtrack is stunning. Like, the world you go through when the story is given to you is really nice. The first issue is the relentless amounts of puzzles. Puzzle. The second issue is it tries to do things late on that just don't fit in with what the game is. So it's a puzzle game, and there's like a platforming running section. And you're like, and your brother picked up on this more than I did. The control or the game engine and the controls for it just don't fit what you're trying to do. Because I was like, you can't jump this gap, and he was like, you can. You have to run off the edge. because the hitbox is messed up. So you have to basically run off the edge to clear the fucking gap.
Right.
And as he was saying, again, this is coming from a game developer of your brother, not my background. And as he said, it's because they've designed this as a puzzle game and then probably gone, actually, we'll add this in, it'll be quite fun. But they haven't really worked hard on that. And they maybe haven't got experience, he said, working with that kind of game stuff. So it's led to these parts that have been a bit weird. And by the time we finished, we haven't even finished actually. We're like very close to the end. But by the time we finished our playthrough, it was like 2:00 in the morning, and we were like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like, I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. It's just a shame because 2 or 3 little tweaks here or there, and it would be a solid 7. Like, and that is the fact that if they took out some of the puzzles, like, to the point where some of them aren't even fucking puzzles. Like, there was this one thing I speak about in the review. There's this blacksmith. Mm-hmm. And you have to get him a rock to then make your lever work, and that's like these animation bubbles come up, and all it showed was the lever and a rock, and then that was it. So we done that, didn't work, and we were like, what the fuck? We to the point where Tom was like, the game's broken. It's obviously a pre-release bug. It's not working. Yeah. Turns out there is actually another ingredient you need to get, just doesn't tell you. We spent about an hour like walking around and we were like, oh, there's a fucking other ingredient you need to find. I was like, oh, I found this seed thing. And he was like, really? So we were like, that, we need to plant the fucking seed thing and this kind of... I was like, then it finally worked. And I was like, oh, it works now. So, first thing we need to do is fix some of the conversations because they're a little bit blasé. Second thing, the conversations are so slow. Like the picture animation comes up, we're talking... not far off 10 seconds between each picture. Some of them have 6 pictures on there, so you're waiting for a minute to go like, oh, okay, that's what I've got to do. Go and do it. And it's just, when you know you've got to then go back here and get this and all that, so they need to change that. And the third thing you need to do is, there's things in there that are in there for no reason. So you do the puzzle when it's like, oh, now you need to go find this. And you're like, well, I know exactly where it is and it's not going to make any difference. So you have to walk all the way back across the map to press a fucking switch to come all the way back. It's in there to kind of make the game go from, rather than being a 3-hour game, a 6-hour game. Yeah. So if they just adjusted those 3 things, it would be a solidly good game. And it's really a shame because, yeah, the review goes up Monday. The game comes out Thursday. I'm sure people out there, puzzle people, will probably love it because it is just puzzle after puzzle. And the puzzles are good. They're just slow. And the item stuff isn't good. Yeah, when it comes down to the...
to be no reward for doing
there isn't, no. And when it comes down to the hardcore... like the environmental design of the puzzles, we both in agreement, that's some of the best puzzles we've played. Like, they're really well done. And some of them you're like, that's really cool actually. I jump on this and it makes the rock come down here. And you're like, that really works really well. Other times, you're like, why did they do this? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah. And, so that's kind of where I'm starting that, I'm afraid. And the last game I played this week was Mother Gunship.
Yeah.
I've been playing Mother Gunship. It's, if you take it for face value, it's a very good game. Like, if you take it for literally what it is. Yeah, so... it's got a very good mechanic to which I'm fucking like spending more time in the gameplay. But just for people to give context at home, Mother Gunship is a FPS meets bullet hell sci-fi shooting game where you basically take on an army of robotic aliens who are looking to take over Earth. You have to go through like little ships to then get to the Mother Gunship and destroy the Mother Gunship. I'm about halfway through, I think, of the actual ships. The gameplay is slick, like really slick. Frame rate, absolutely brilliant with it. The puzzle elements to them are quite cool because it will have a lot of the enemies are turrets, so they are based on platforms. So the puzzle element comes in. I need to work out how the fuck I get to that platform.
Right. Okay.
And then like, oh wait a minute, you're like, I can go on this and I can go here. So that's quite good. There's a lot of kind of verticality to the levels and the stages. The jump buttons are mapped to the analog sticks rather than the thingy, so you can keep your hands on the sticks and shooting it the whole time. I hate it, so I remapped it to square. But you can. I thought of you when I done it. I was like, yeah.
I wouldn't have jump buttons on the sticks.
Oh, would you not?
Surely.
Triggers.
Yeah.
Which was weird because I mapped, when I played Overwatch, I mapped Genji's jump button to the analog stick so I could aim and double jump. And I got really used to that, but I couldn't get used to it in Mother Gunship. You got like a triple jump, things like that. Now, like I said, the gameplay, the bosses are brilliant. They're fucking huge, and they've got lots of mechanics. You have to shoot this part, and then this part, and then go to this, and then jump through this portal, and then go to this bit, and then destroy this hole in the wall to jump through this portal, which means you come behind the boss and do that. Like, there's lots going on. The best part of the game, without a doubt, is the weapon customization. Like, Borderlands, fuck off. You're nothing compared to this.
Cool, okay.
Like, you want to make a weapon, make it. Literally make it.
So it's like whatever you can imagine.
As long as you've got the money and you start getting the resources, make what you want. So the way it works is you've got two guns, left and right, and they're on the left and right triggers.
Right.
Now, each gun has 40 cell power. So if you could build, if you want, this fucking ridiculously 25 barrel rocket gun that fucking is like the absolute nuts. But one shot will use every power and it will take 30 seconds to recharge.
Right.
Or you can go, I'm going to do one that maybe uses 5 cell power each time, and I could shoot it continuously and it will never go. Like, the recharge will be quicker than the actual...
You got it right there. One hand is the one that does like 1,000 rockets at once, and the other one is like the endless firing weapon.
So that's what I was doing at first, and then I realised you get these... I can't remember. They're like... I can't remember what they're called. Component things. And they do weird things to your weapons.
What? Like mods? Or?
Yeah, but bonkers mods. So they turn every bullet into a firework and things like that. So you all of a sudden...
Does that make it less effective? Or
because you lose aim, but you get AOE, like area explosions,
effect,
things like that, or area effect. And so all of a sudden, you've got these fucking fireworks shooting around, and they bounce off, and if they come back and hit you, they take your life.
I see, okay.
Things like that. So all these weird things going on.
Yeah,
but like, so when you build, the customization is really quite hard, actually, when you get into it. You have to like... build so you want to make a big one, you need a full turret thing that's got like 6 slots on it, and then you need to add, you can't just add a weapon to each one, you then need to add a component to it to then make more slots to add more weapons to it. And if the weapon, if you've got a Gatling gun and it can't rotate because there's a barrel in the way, it will blow up and kill you. So you actually have quite a lot of customization to it. I've found 4 hours in, I'm still finding new weapon parts to use.
Right.
And it's really good. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. That's what I'm really enjoying. And co-op is coming out in August, which will be quite interesting. So that's what we've all got keys coming. Well, I've got a key now, but you guys got keys coming because I asked him, can we get co-op?
I might have internet by then.
But yeah, it's
come on, Sky.
As I said, it's for face value, it's a great game because it is. If you want to just jump in for, I've been playing it in like hour sections. I want to jump in. I want to go from room to room to room to room, blow up some alien stuff. Finish the mission. Each mission's about 20 minutes if you don't die, and then you're out of it. It's not like Immortal Redneck where you kind of get caught into this massive long trail through. It is a case of you're in there. If you don't die, 20, 25 minutes, you're out. You build up. You keep farming same ones to build up for a boss fight so you can build these massive weapons for the boss fight and then go in for the boss fight. But I don't mind farming for 25 minutes in games like that because it's just quick. You're in, you're blowing them all up. It's all going on.
It's a fun kind of farming as well.
That is it. I mean, the review will be up probably early next week. I can't tell you where I'm sat at the moment on it. I need to play more of it, but I'm having fun, and that's the most important thing. Why do you play video games? Have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah. Should we go on some news?
No, fuck it.
Oh,
No one cares about news anymore.
Don't say no.
Yeah.
Don't say no.
What we really care about is the olds.
The old, you say?
Yeah.
The olds.
The pensioners of Eastbourne. Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about that. Why are they so fucking slow?
I don't know. What happens to you at an age where you just decide, fuck it, I'm going to walk so slow?
Why wouldn't you?
They've got
Why
less
wouldn't
time.
you?
No, they've got less time
on
in
this
life.
earth, right?
Yeah.
You'd be running everywhere.
No, see, I think
Spending the most of your life walking.
They've grown up in an era where we don't really know hard work now. They grew up in fucking...
We don't know hard work now.
I know you, Lewis. I know hard work.
Well, I look at my granddad, for example.
Yeah.
He was a carpenter when it was like rain didn't mean you stopped working. Like you're out in all fucking elements, working no matter what on the thingy. And at school, you done manual labour. Like everything was manual labour. You worked your ass off. Nowadays, like, oh, it's too cold. You can't go to work today. Oh, we can't do this.
Doesn't mean people don't work. We just work in different ways.
Oh yeah, different ways.
What we did is we beat the elderly by making machines to do work for us.
I'm fond of old people going slow. You know what's worse is young people going slow.
Oh no, fuck them.
They're much worse.
But
It's like, because honestly, what do you want to do with your day? Do you want to slowly traipse around trying to get to your
See,
place?
young people,
or do you want to fucking get on with it?
Yeah.
Get to where you need to be so you can live your life, you prick.
Well, I think old people, if rushing around their whole life like we are now, why can't they have a relax? Why can't I go, fuck it, I haven't got to be there
Yeah, but then
for any
again-
set time. I'm going to take an hour
No,
to
the
walk
big
a
thing
mile.
is, if I'm going to take an hour to walk a mile, I want to do it along the seafront. I want to do it somewhere nice. They're choosing to walk
Not
past
Helsham High
fucking
Street.
skips and really crappy places.
You know what's in a
and
skip?
like, I'm going to... Never know what's in a skip. Old people, hopefully. That's what we're going to do with them.
You got to take a look. She actually got on some news.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, right. And that was the olds.
Yeah. News this week. We've got actually a few stories, 6 overall. Not that, a few stories.
Stories.
Two stories today.
First up, we've got the news that publisher Excalibur Games, the guys who brought Flashing Lights,
Yeah.
Jalopity, the
Jalopy.
Jalopy, not Jalopity, Jalopy, the
Jalopito?
calm
Just add
mechanic
more
game,
syllables every time you say it.
have said that at EGX this year, they are opening up the EGX Res dev stage that we sometimes watch. They're opening up, they're doing the first session, and they're going to announce a completely new game right there, right then. It's going to be live on Twitch if people that excited to find out what the game is. The only clue we know at the moment is it is going to be it's going to be based around Animal Crossing meets Papers, Please.
I'm hoping for a Nazi version of Animals of Farthing Wood. So there are all these creatures going from their little homes.
You see my sweat patches.
Look at the sweat patches. Going from their little homes.
They are incredible.
Yeah, all right, shut up. They're going from their little homes in the woods, and they've got to go past these fences where there are like Nazi bunnies, and they're like, "Passen bitte," and then like,
That sounds good.
Oh Jesus! And then you get one bunny on a motorbike who jumps all the fences.
Steve McQueen.
Well, we know what the game is then.
Yeah, there we go. I've just told you Excalibur's new game.
But I was generally confused because I'm like, Animal Crossing and Papers, Please are probably the two most contrasting games I could ever think of.
Well, here it is, right? Animal
Yeah.
Crossing, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a communist state. You are the mayor of a small town.
Small communist town.
Yeah.
I
This
love
is
it.
part of this, everybody.
Yeah.
And you are, this dictator on a small level.
Yeah, okay.
And the Papers, Please is like you're checking everyone's
Dictatorship
papers.
shouldn't really go with communism, but all right.
Well,
I mean, they always have, but
yeah. I mean, on paper.
on paper, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure communism's good stuff, but
It's a mighty fine meatball.
that's how I react to communism. But yeah, so I'm thinking that you'll be
You're
the
in
mayor.
charge of a small town.
Yeah, and it's all very drab and dreary and
Yeah.
sad and everyone.
Lots of greys and browns.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Everyone,
Papers, Please. Had lots
Yeah,
of Grays and
love it.
Browns.
it did indeed, yeah. And it
But
had
they're
that.
animals, and you've got to do some farming.
I don't think you do the farming. I think you regulate everyone else's farming,
Nice.
and you take
You take it all in, then you've got to
you
share it
distribute to the
out,
people.
but you keep more.
Yeah, that's right.
Stalinism
Because
at work.
communism works, guys.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Next story.
We'll be at EGX.
That's the universal.
For communism.
When I'm doing this, I'm thinking about communism.
I'm not going to watch The Sopranos in the same way again.
We'll be at EGX this year, so we'll
I'll
find
be
out
in
what it
the
is.
audience.
Yeah.
Just doing that in the
I'll be
background.
Up next, we've got the news that Hero Defense, which is a new game coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, has got a release date of the 16th of August. Now, you see the trailer playing up there now. I'm going to be completely honest, and I don't mean to shoot the game down before it's even out. I didn't like the trailer they released. I didn't think it was very exciting. The game is billed as RTS meets Tower Defense, and it's being published by Heads Up Games and developed by Happy Tuesday. You guys saw the trailer. What did you think to it?
Yeah.
Bored by it.
I think it'd be quite a good mobile game.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, the kind of for audio listeners, it looks very much like enemies are being shoehorned or shepherded through kind of dugout trenches, and you've got to set up little mage turrets.
It's
that
your
kind of
classic tower
shield-
defense. There's a set path that the bad guys
Yeah.
will walk along. You set up towers at the main choke point. And
I mean, for me, adding RTS to the title isn't gonna to the description isn't gonna help me anyway because I don't like RTS games. so I'm just thinking like, oh, a tower defense game. Oh, you're making it worse. Okay.
But a game that I did see the trailer of, I'm not sure you guys think to it yet, but I really liked it, was Speed Brawl. It got its first gameplay trailer. What do you guys reckon?
Well, it's interesting looking, yeah. I like the cartoon.
Yeah.
I like the cutscenes. They're really nice. Yeah. Nice animation.
You know that discussion we had a couple of weeks... I'm pretty sure you were there a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about the fact that there's nothing new there.
Yeah.
In indie games. I'm kind of getting bored. I'm saying, this is... Yeah, it looks alright, but... Did I see anything there that made me go, here's something new? No.
What got me excited by it was reading the press release stuff, and it's very similar to the combat. Sounds very similar to Super Mario Deluxe, which I sang praise about because it was brawler meets fighting games where you could kind of customize out your abilities, and then it was all about timing. I get the sense that Speed Brawl's going to be very much the same as that, and it's like arena-based brawler, PvE, and you can have like online co-op. So you're kind of looking to be nice and quick through levels. Is it going to be groundbreaking? I don't think so. I think that I have a lot of fun with it though.
It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. I just want to be able to sit there and go, there's something.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think that's.
But I'm not
all you need really.
Yep.
I watched it. I was like, it's pretty. It's a good looking game, but.
Well, it's got a fully fleshed single player story mode and up to over 50 challenges to complete in a challenge mode that can be played co-op in the challenge mode. The story, I think, is only single player. Yeah. State of Mind is a game that I've been excited about for quite a while since hearing about it last year. We all sat down and played it at EGX Res, didn't we?
Yeah.
The release date's been teased here and teased there, and said it was going to be initially coming out, I think, in March, when it got pushed to April, then it disappeared for a while. It's now set, confirmed, it's releasing on the 15th of August. PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Like this sci-fi kind of... So I'd say now, I've played the game. I can't say much about it, so I have to be careful what I say, because they are very hot on they don't want people knowing about the game until next week. But you guys, what do you guys think of the demo? So I'm not going to.
Well, I banged on about it before EGX Res.
Yeah,
it's in my games you must go and play. Or games I'm excited for Res, and then games you must go and play, because I quite like what Daedalic do.
Yeah.
I like their ideas of stories and building worlds and making it interesting. They're really good at that. Sometimes they kind of fall down on the mechanics.
Yeah.
When you go into the game, but the stories have always been great. And then me and you were there at the same time. We got to play it. And
it's very cool, very stylish.
It's very cool, very stylish.
Yeah.
I love the dual different worlds of this drab, dark world that's very depressed, and then you're going into the sort of mainframe sort of world where it's a lot nicer and cleaner and white, but it's all still
funny enough
a little bit dark.
Funny enough,
humanism just going along.
The demo we played at EGX Res, I don't know if I'm going to get told off for saying this, isn't the beginning of the game.
No, they said that when we were there.
But I've not found it yet. I've not got to that part yet.
That's interesting.
Which is like, ooh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was
that did quite feel
strange bit to pitch.
She said it wasn't at the start of the game, but it did feel kind of early.
Felt a bit tutorial-y.
Yeah, and
unless they changed it a bit for the.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I'm 2 hours in. That's all I can say. I'm 2 hours in, but there will be closer, like around the beginning of August. There'll be a full first 20 minutes gameplay. There'll be a full preview up, and then there will be an actual review up around release date, which is the 15th of August. Keep an eye out for it, because it's a game that looks great, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Super Mario Deluxe, a game I mentioned a minute ago, Speed Brawl. Super Mario Deluxe is sitting in one of my top indie games to release this year. It was amazing. I really, really liked it. I'm actually going to try, now it's co-op, I might try and get a Switch key for you, because I think you'll really like it. Okay. The whole kind of D&D mix of they call it RPG-vania is what they called it.
Right, okay.
It's got a co-op mode, which is drop in, drop out. Ooh.
Why is it always you who forgets to turn that off?
It's got a co-op mode, which is drop in, drop out, where you play as a blue version of Daryl. And you can just jump in, help your friend out, jump back out. But you can actually play the whole story as co-op.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not online, it's only local, but you can play the whole story co-op, which is something like Dan and Matt Games didn't have to add that in at all, did they? It's but they've clearly worked hard to go, actually, you know what, post-launch, we're going to add this in. So,
quite nice.
It's a nice little addition. Yeah. And the last bit of news we've got is Redeemer. Redeemer is a game I reviewed last year. I played through it. It's got a release date for consoles, and this surprised me, including Switch. I'll say why that surprised me in a minute. And the release date is... I've got a release window, August. They haven't confirmed the release date, but we got
his
the
window.
entire month of August.
we got a PR basically saying Redeemer's released next month. I'm guessing it's because probably from what I've heard from other developers on the Switch, they're waiting for it to clear verification and get set.
Yeah.
But it's definitely coming to Switch then? If it's
Yep,
not...
definitely coming to Switch.
Okay.
The reason I was surprised about the Switch launch alongside the Xbox and PS4, and don't get me wrong, the game released a year ago on PC, so I had a long time to optimise it, is there is towards the latter stages, a lot on screen, like a lot going on, and it is a very kind of slick-based combat.
Do you not think the Switch can handle that?
I'm concerned, because what is great about Redeemer is, so Redeemer you play as this, it's called Vasily. He's a monk who, it's classic 80s action movie. He goes to his monastery and then everyone's been killed. An old friend of his who he's in the army with is turned evil and half kind of robotic cybernetic creation and killed with his monk friends.
Does he ever say we're not so different?
And then I'm surprised it doesn't have the scene where he's looking in the mirror and he takes his picture and screws it up. Like, it is that 80s movies inspired. Yeah, you go on this mission basically to go and get revenge. It's brutal. It's very Arkham with its combat, so you can jump from person to person. Yeah. It's very much you need to keep momentum going, otherwise if you get hit, you're fucked. You need to...
Done well, that is like some of the most satisfying combat.
Yeah, like classic people, when people are attacking you, a little thing pops above their head, you can parry it or you can attack it, things like that. You can get weapons that you can combo in, so you can get like a shotgun, so you'll kick people and then shoot them. Yeah, it's fast-paced, it's savage, and it's brutal. The reason I was saying about the Switch thing is because what it does is, when you do these victory kills, so like these glory kills, like Doom, but on a kind of isometric level, the camera nice and seamlessly zooms in, you rip someone's head off and throw it on all. I think I watched my review earlier, the part where you can pick an alien up and throw him on a buzzsaw and you're just like sliding up and it just peels in half. Like, things like that happen. And then the camera seamlessly, keyword, pulls out and the action carries on. With 30, 40 people on screen at the same time.
Yeah.
I question the Switch's capability to seamlessly do that.
I just think we'll see a reduction in the amount of bad guys on screen.
Possibly.
And then we'll still see the seamless movement in and out.
Increase in the strength of bad guys, but there'll just be less.
Decreasing the
amount. Possibly, because the game is
hard.
Full on alert now. That game is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
I'm not one to...
Is that based on sheer numbers?
Yes and no. It's also that Dark Souls hard where you're like, fuck's sake, that was my fault. Like, I missed my combo there. Like, I missed up. Like, yeah. And it's the whole kind of, if I can get one more hit on this guy. Because the only way you heal health is by killing enemies. There's no health pots.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Which... like fits in perfectly with the gameplay. Like, it's all about just going aggressive. So if you've got like small health, you can't like run around the map trying to find a health pot. You just got to try and sneak up on someone and kill them. The issue comes in, sometimes they have weapons, so you have to kind of draw them to you, command roll out the way, and then start smashing their heads in. And you can use people as shields, and there's a lot going on. But I scored an 8 out of 10 when I played it originally, and it's really fucking good. And it's also the Enhanced Edition coming to the console, which comes with a prequel story of Vasily's story, but you can only unlock that after you finish the main game.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Game I definitely recommend people check out, especially if you like. Again? Yeah, I'm tempted actually to buy it on the Switch because I want to see what it's like.
How it works on the Switch,
and that's another thing actually I've got to say. $20, so probably $15.99 PlayStation, Xbox, £5 extra on Switch. Yeah,
that's Nintendo. Want their cut, don't they?
Yeah,
possible. Yeah,
$24.99 on Switch. So probably $19.99 on Switch. But yeah, should we go on to our final topic?
Let's do it.
Let's do the topic.
Okay, so the main topic this week is going to see us chatting about indie game prices. So I was listening to another podcast a couple of weeks back. And they were talking...
An inferior one, no doubt.
They weren't talking about
probably
indie
IGN.
games. They were talking about game prices in general. And then they kind of got on the topic of indie games a little bit. But they were talking about how video game prices haven't gone up in the last 5 years, really. We've always paid 50 quid for a game. Despite the fact that teams have got bigger. Like so,
Right.
5 years ago, 10 years ago, on a PlayStation 3, I'd have paid $49.99 or $54.99, whatever, for a game. I still pay the same price now.
No.
I thought it was like 40 quid for a game.
Yeah, it was.
The PlayStation 3 wasn't. I'd done a check earlier. PlayStation 2 was 40 quid a game.
PlayStation 3 wasn't 50 quid a game.
Really?
Yeah.
To be
Some
fair,
games definitely were.
Halo.
PS4 and Xbox One were the ones that broke the 50
Halo
quid mark,
3.
and everyone lost their shit.
Halo 3, I remember playing 50 quid for because I remember going to
You
get
got ripped off big time, mate.
But anyway,
Good game.
so the
Should have got the game, boys. Second hand.
so the
Traded in Sonic.
what I want to talk about is, so I went through the store earlier and I looked around, and indie games can vary from a range of prices.
Big time.
Cheapest one I found, this is not including sale games.
It's on, what store is this?
This is on PSN.
Okay.
So,
It's probably better.
So this is not including sale games because you can get indie games for like £2 on sale.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
cheapest one I found was $3.99.
Yeah.
And then the most expensive one, they go up to about 35 quid. I've not seen one. You could argue Vampire, which is 40 quid. But 35, 40 quid is the most I've seen.
Yeah.
Majority, and I'd say majority, 90% of them sit between £10 and $15.99. Like that's the kind of the two stable prices that pretty much all of them come out
I'd
at.
say so, yeah.
Personally, I think £10 is too cheap. I think that I would rather pay the 15. I know you're going to say,
Oh, Mr. Moneybags.
No, but I
think
mean-
you'll find that £10 is a bloody good price for games.
oh yeah, as a consumer, don't get me wrong, you want them for free. But I'm saying people who put time and effort and money into making these games and put their career on the line. So many people leave jobs to go and make a video game. It doesn't work well for them. They're fucked. They've put all their money into this game. Where do you guys sit on how much would you pay for an indie game? And at the current pricing, do you think they're too cheap?
I don't think... I don't know. I've never thought a game is too cheap. But I like...
Of course you're not going to do that. Cause you
No,
know,
but I do think in a sense... I do think about like, I know the devs need their money and the publishers need their money and everything. But I've never ever thought, that's too cheap. Like, even, unless it's on sale, I think that's pretty fucking cheap. But I'm not upset about it.
I do think you've got to take into account how much there is a difference in costing.
yeah, yes.
I'm going to be harsh, and I know we've got a lot of indie devs watching and that lot, and you're probably going to fucking hate me for it, but
No, I know what you're going to say.
indie games
Your brother said
cost a
exactly the
lot
same.
less to make
Big time.
than your big AAAs. So actually, for them to sell it at a tenner, they're going to break even a lot quicker and then start making profit a lot quicker. They have to sell a lot less to break even and make more.
Yeah.
So they and at a cheap price, whereas your big companies have to sell it for 50 quid. The questionable
they
bit is when
spend
they start
millions
spending
making it.
fucking microtransactions
Yeah,
and
because
DLC.
obviously teams are bigger. But on the flip of that then, big companies have got...
It's not just about the team.
No, I mean, obviously I know costing
also-
more in general because of
it's-
publishers and all everything
Well, not
like
just that, but the equipment you're buying in, everything you use is a
Yeah.
lot cheaper on a smaller scale. If you think the amount who are using Unity
Yeah,
and bits like that to
Yeah.
put out, that is incredibly cheap in comparison to,
they're in
you
you know,
In-house
Unreal and
engines,
in-house
engines,
engines.
yeah.
In-house engines are incredibly expensive
Exactly,
to do.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
You
yeah.
know, so you're talking about a lot cheaper game to make, so you don't need to
Yeah.
price it higher to make money.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Right?
there's no argument against that. I don't think.
You kind of walking, instead of it being about the developers making money, you're heading towards whether is an indie game actually worth more money.
Yeah.
So you've got to cut out that whole production side of it. So
Yeah.
if we negate that bit and forget about that side of it and think about, are indie games worth paying more for? The honest answer is no.
Yeah,
You don't
rarely.
Because only due to the percentage of games made.
Okay.
So if you take the vast amount of indie games made, the vast majority are shit.
Yeah.
Only
I've been
because
on
if you,
Steam.
you jump on Steam,
Yeah.
the vast amount of games produced are shit and they're not worth the money. So
Like
this
a
is
pound
purely
for some shitty
this is
game.
purely mathematics and statistics we're talking about here, not whether or not some indie
Yeah.
games are worth more. Whereas your AAA titles are actually far less of those released a year.
Oh yeah, no, of course, yeah.
And so, yeah, in a way, they're kind of worth the more money.
Yeah.
Do I think that's right for games such as Spectrum Retreat, which is releasing for £10?
I was thinking like Cat Quest. That's a tenner.
Cat Quest? I think Cat Quest is worth a tenner.
You don't
I
think it's
wouldn't
any more?
charge it anymore, no.
No? Okay.
Because Cat Quest is a nice, fun mobile game.
Yep.
You know, it's not giving you a whole lot more depth.
Yeah.
It's not giving. It's perfect. I mean, it sits in that beautiful sweet spot.
Yeah.
Of it's a wonderful game that is perfectly priced. I just like using the word perfect with Cat Quest.
Well, if it's perfect.
Do you think there's a sense as well that now, like I said, there's no argument to say that there's the costing, the overheads of a AAA game compared to indie are vastly different.
Yeah.
But I do think the risk is vastly different in terms of if a AAA studio puts out a flop, there's no issue there.
Like, company.
No, a AAA won't. They'll just pass it aside, and they'll just. If an indie game puts out a game that doesn't sell, despite being good or not, doesn't sell, that's over. It's done. That studio's done.
I'm sorry, if an indie game doesn't sell, it's usually because it's shit.
Undertale took a year to take off the ground.
Yeah, and then it went through the roof.
Yeah.
And they've made more than their money back. Percentage-wise,
one guy.
They've
Would you not say that's an
one
outlier,
guy
though?
has done.
That's an outlier, though, really, isn't it?
Well, no. If you look at things like, let's go back to the original ones. Braid made the guy more than $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
More than $1 million. You know, Team Meat made a fecking fortune
Just look at Rocket
from
League.
it and bits like that.
I suppose I always forget that's like an indie game at this point.
What's that?
Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah. You look at all these different games, and when they're successful,
They do
their profit
get big,
margins are far bigger than any AAA game.
Yeah.
When you take into percentages, and that's what you risk. No, it is.
Fortnite.
No.
They just made $1 billion. They just confirmed they made $1
Yeah,
billion.
but you look at the percentage of how much they're paying for the.
an indie game.
No,
No, it's Epic.
It's
Games.
Epic.
They're the guys who made.
But you've also, but then when you take into account the amount of money spent into that and the amount of teams they've got onto that, you've got to look.
Still $1 billion.
It's maybe $1 billion, but you've got to look at percentages. Once you boil it down, if I
you look at
spend
how GTA
if I spend
buys
£10
loads
to
of
make
money.
a game, but I make 200,000 from that game, my percentage is going to be better than spending 50 million on a game and making
Rocket
it.
League's probably a bit of an anomaly, isn't it? It's like
it's a lot.
the thing is, it became the
Yeah.
Rocket League become an e-sport. As soon as a game is picked up as a professional
Yeah.
e-sport, it's
That's
got
the
legs.
big-
You get a
doesn't it?
game
It's
every
got
now
Which
and
is
then.
why so many
Bonus.
games push for esports.
like Laser League and things like that.
Yeah.
Which didn't quite
What
the
Disc Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
What's Disc
oh,
Jam?
piece of shit.
So, do you think there's an element as well that if a unknown developer, brand new to the, let's take Undertale. Okay, Undertale looks like a ZX Spectrum game.
Yeah. On purpose, though. It's a start.
Quirky as fuck.
Yeah.
Weird as fuck. It gets put out there at a price of £20, £19.99, £10 more than it is priced at now. Do you think people are more reluctant, despite critics coming out and going, this game's amazing, despite other people going, come out and buy it? If it's £20, £10 more, do you think people are going, oh, I don't want to spend £20?
People won't buy it. People will not buy it.
Whereas a tenner, do you think people go, oh, I'll give it a go?
As a tenner, people will give it a go. Just think about how hard it is for us.
Yeah.
When we talk to people, I know many times I have people come up to me all the fucking time.
I think the guys at Manor.
Yeah, going, oh, what game should I play? And you tell them a great game. And one, they've never heard of it.
Yeah.
And all of us probably would sit there shocked, mainly because we spend our entire lives involved with this shit.
Yeah.
But also, you then say something like, oh, it's 15 quid. And like, ooh.
That literally
Whereas
happens.
you turn around and you say, oh, yeah, Black Ops is going to be 50 quid. And like, oh, yeah, I'll get that. Or FIFA's going to be another 50 quid.
I suppose
and
you
you
look
have
at
to
the
struggle to get
generic
someone.
Consumer, it's not.
Yeah.
That literally
That's the
happens.
price of a pizza.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're just like, well, you're going to buy a pizza this weekend, aren't you? Yeah.
That
You're going
literally
to shit
happened
that
last
out
Sunday.
in the morning, aren't you? Well, yeah. Well, then fucking buy this game. It's brilliant.
Last Sunday, that literally happened.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight. I was like, you got to play Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, how much? I was like, it's $15.99. Like, I brought it on the Switch. I've been playing it again. I think it's fucking amazing. I was like, you got to get it. Oh, it's. I was like, it's 16 quid. Like, I promise you'll have more fun than that than you've had in a lot of AAA games.
Yeah.
And then they messaged me on Facebook on Wednesday saying, I've got it. It's amazing, but it's just so hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's hard. It's the idea of it. It's like, that's the game thing. But yeah,
and that's what indie devs have to fight against, which is why they have to go on the cheaper side, because people aren't willing to take that risk. They will take risks with stupid games that IGN and everyone else stand up and say, oh yeah, you need to jizz over this because it's from a big publisher. But your small indie games that are actually really good can't go over that 50 quid mark.
Literally the reason Incredible even started was because I was having so much fun with indie games. I was like, I need to tell people about these games. Like your brother the other day, we was mentioned last week about the digital sales. Yeah. And he was looking for digital sales, and he was going through, and he was like, oh, there's quite a few games now. Do you know any? Are any good? First one, I don't know. First one that comes up, Enter the Gungeon. I was like, get it, £6. Like £6 for Enter the Gungeon. He's been smashed for it. He's loving it. Celeste was down to £10.99. He's playing Celeste, and he's like, this is one of the. He said himself, one of the best design games he's played in terms of game design. And your brother's got a weird thing about music in games and how well
music in games is incredibly important.
And he's like, it's probably the best I've seen for a long time. Because I said about the whole levels that move platform. It's hard to explain, but yeah, he's loving it. And he was like, I didn't even realise. I was like, yeah, like a tenner for Celeste. I was like, that's amazing. And £6 for Enter the Gungeon.
But you've got to remember, we can say that because we see these games, but everyone else won't see it. And they'll sit there and go, £10.
Yeah.
What if the game's shit? And because indie games don't have that opportunity to get the big publishers, to get the big podcasters, and all of that lot talking about it, they have to price cheap.
It's annoying.
And they will make their money back.
If
they make a good game.
Like, you can't say things are priced too much or too less, because I mean there are teams of professionals that choose how much is going to be priced at.
I've started to see more games starting to release at $19.99 rather than $15.99. I do think as we go through to the PS5, Xbox, whatever the fuck it's going to be called, generation, I do think indie games will start going $19.99, and then the $10.99 and the $9.99s will probably go up to maybe $14.99.
Yeah, as AAA games go up to like 60,
I do
70
think
quid.
that, and then AAA games will probably make the $59.99 mark, which some games still are. And like Nintendo games are always $59.99.
That's because they are collector's items.
Yeah, and they don't go down in price.
They don't go down in price because they're collector's items. Nintendo have played the genius game of making their stock always limited.
Yeah.
So therefore it is always a collector's item.
Yeah.
And it's very clever. What they've done is brilliant.
You get Zelda
from a business standpoint, it is genius. From a player standpoint, fuck Nintendo.
Horrible,
But from a business standpoint, it is perfect.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I'm busy trying to collect. I'm not. Should I say on the podcast actually, because it might fuck me over. But
you might actually get some help.
I'm trying to get hold of the fuck. I forgot what they're called. These guys, the Amiibos. Right. I'm trying to get hold of like Falco and Star Fox and all of that lot ready for the new game coming up.
Starlink.
Yeah. Because of course they're all going to work with it because we've got this link to Star Fox in there.
Yeah.
But they're all limited.
Yeah.
So at the moment they're already expensive. Now once they become,
they're back on
needed
eBay,
in it,
price.
double the price,
Yeah.
and that's what Nintendo does really well.
It's very good at feeding the ripping off second-hand market. They're the best for it. They are the best. Like NES Classic, when that released.
Yeah.
The SNES wasn't so bad, but the NES...
Still though.
When that released,
that was
people like
gone like that, wasn't it?
Brought it out, brought 10 copies and then put it on eBay for 3 times the price.
My mate still got his SNES, hasn't even opened it yet. SNES Mini.
Really?
Yeah.
SNES Minis they went out of stock for about 3 days, and then they're always in stock. I've seen them everywhere.
I made my Raspberry Pi into a NES, SNES, Sega Mega Drive, everything like that, and I've even got the separate controllers with USB ports. So, fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah. So, wrap it up quickly. So you're thinking about price right at the moment?
I think they're always going to be priced right because they take into account how much it costs to make and how much people are willing to buy when they price it.
Yeah.
It's all done very specifically.
Yeah.
And I've never really been like, that's too much or whatever. Only because I'm poor. Like, I'll be like, I can't afford that, but I would pay it.
Yeah.
Like, if I could spare it, I would pay it.
I think you wrapped that up nicely.
I want more people to play indie games.
Yeah.
I think more people need to play indie games.
And,
and if that means making it cheaper...
rather than $19.99 is going to make people go, I'll give it a go.
And then that means we get more listeners.
Hopefully.
And,
That's right.
Hopefully. And then we make more money. It's a vicious circle. Yeah. I mean, I'm in the boat that, I think, personally, I wouldn't, and it's not the fact that I have the means to do so, but if I saw a game on there for $24.99, I would still go and buy it, but maybe that's because I'm more knowledgeable of the publisher or the developer, and I'm like, I've played their previous games, I know what they're like, and I'd do that, because I'd like to think that more money's going into developers' pockets, or things like that. But in the ideal world, most people aren't going to think like that. Most people are going to go for the
and that's what you've got to look at. You've got to look at what most people are going to do when they head into this, not what we would do. Because, fuck it. I would spend 25, 30. I'd spend 50 quid on some of these indie games because they're bloody worth it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, most people won't because they're going to save that money to play FIFA.
Let us know what you think. Actually, you can podcast us. You can podcast us.
You can
and you can even email us.
Do a podcast in response to our podcast.
You can email us.
Fuck yes, Brian, Trev, get on that shit.
You can
we
email
want
us.
the Indie Credible response cast.
You can email us podcast@indie-credible.com, and that way you can let us know your questions or comment on the video below. Lots of people commented last week with things, and any good comments or comments alike I'll read out about next week in the show. But that is going to wrap up episode 51 of the Indie Credible podcast. Thank you so much for watching / listening, guys. We are available on YouTube, on iTunes, on Spotify now, on most podcast services. And if you do like what we do, then on YouTube, then why not give us a subscribe? Even if you don't watch the podcast there, we do weekly release videos. We've got the news video coming up. We've got monthly reviews. We've got hot lists. We've got previews. We've got let's plays,
all sorts
gameplay.
of shit. Jesus, do we have to go through all this?
Yeah. Anything based around indie games, we're probably
check it out. Have a
probably
look.
covering.
Yeah, have a look. Subscribe.
Even
if you don't watch the video, just subscribe. We don't
Anyway,
care.
numbers is all we care about.
And like I said, $1 a month.
Communism.
$1 a month over on
Videos
Patreon
for the people.
gets you exclusive pre and post show content, and it's also getting you some new rewards soon because as of next week, although it won't be massively live, it's kind of future proofing ourselves, and it's Brian's idea. So Brian, our patron, whose name's going to cross the screen now. Discord, you also get exclusive Discord titles depending on what tier you buy in at. So when
Are we starting a Discord group?
Yeah, because
to me.
I play when I'm playing games with like your brother, lots of time we're on Discord or things like that. And then
okay.
Brian will come on Discord and Trev can come on Discord. So yeah, we're basically starting a Discord group because Brian's idea, he thought it'd be nice for the future, and it's another selling point.
Yeah, Brian, like he opened like a chat with me on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then said nothing. It's
He might have done it by mistake.
Yeah,
or
I was
he could have heard
thinking
your
that.
voice and gone, I ain't talking to that guy.
Yeah, wrong one. I thought
No,
I
it was
found
a
Lewis.
text chat. He just said opened a group and added Tom Smith.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Silence.
I'll see where this goes.
You
Yeah.
should have
You've got
replied.
nothing.
What are you
I'm
wearing?
not going to reply first. He's going to say
You should
anything.
have messaged what are you wearing.
You come to me, Brian.
Oh my God.
I don't come to you.
You're as bad as that time when that girl texts you and you text her back and then never hear anything.
Yeah.
And then you find out that she's pregnant. You've
So
gotta
we
take her
are
to
going to
the
go.
clinic.
We're going to go and record the post show now for patrons. Like I said, $1 a month will get you that. $3 a month gets you early access to the Not So Indie show, which will be recorded next week, along with our AMA. Which,
We're going to do it.
We're doing it next
finally
week.
Do it.
Finally get around to it for episode 50, which is a little bit late, but you know.
I'm just going to not answer anything.
It'll be
And,
episode 50. Yeah, actually, fuck it.
Yeah.
If you put in the comments below,
Answer the question.
yeah,
Yeah.
put AMA and then who you want to ask it, and
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
get
you-
Lewis
you-
to answer it.
Exactly, yeah.
I'll do that. That's cool. So until next week, guys, thank you so much for watching or listening, and you stay incredible.
Still doing that.
Still doing that.
Still do that. Oh, it's better than his. Be bold, be beautiful, be.
Be
That's
bold,
true.
be brave, be beautiful.
Yeah,
you-
Jesus.
okay, well.
shit.
Every time I beat your brother on Blaze Blue,
Every time he beats your
Press
brother.
So twice he's done it.
No, he got salty early.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was funny. He wouldn't be watching this if he asked him about it.
Okay.
He was like, "You're not allowed to use Ruby anymore. You're not using Ruby anymore." I was like, "Ooh."
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to hear more,
Oh,
make
this
sure
is
you
Patreon.
subscribe.
This is Patreon.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
Patreon.
We
Make them
didn't
hear
say
that bit.
goodbye.
No, this is
say
the
goodbye.
Patreon here in this bit. Oh, say
But we
goodbye.
didn't say
I said you
goodbye to
stay.
the
I
others.
said you stay incredible.
We didn't say
cut it
bye.
there.
Yeah, you went. Oh, we're still doing that. Yeah.
That's where you cut it.
Yeah, cut it there.
Our patrons expect more.
No, I don't.
Wow.
They really fucking
No,
There's
don't.
no fanfare going into that.
No
at all.
fanfare. This was
No.
just a letdown. I
Yeah.
feel disappointed.
Hello,
Big boys. Sorry,
yeah, your brother got.
Sorry, Lewis didn't want to say hello, big
got
boys.
quite
Yeah.
salty.
All right, guys.
No, go on, Lewis. Go
Sweaty
on.
McTits face here. It's just that, man. What is that?
I mean, nothing.
So,
And I'm a
it's to my
sweaty guy.
sleeve.
That is impressive.
See,
Actually.
I'm pretty fucking.
I'm a sweaty
all right.
guy.
Yeah,
I'm a sweaty guy, and I've not got.
I sweat a lot anyway. I know, and
Yeah.
I don't. When I'm at home, I don't wear antiperspirant
Why?
I don't wear antiperspirant anyway.
Why do I need to?
because it's not
What?
actually that good for you.
Oh, who cares?
Putting a
Like,
shield across.
McDonald's ain't good for me. I still eat the fuck out of it, don't I?
Yeah, you really fucking do, man. We need to talk
yeah.
about that at some point, mate.
No. I'll wait till my first heart attack.
Brian,
now.
Come join me at that point. Yeah.
Brian, I know Brian's a fan of fighting games because we used to play Injustice 2.
I want to get a copy of that because I need to beat the shit out of Brian.
you're bad
Brian's quite good.
Fighting games.
Shit.
You're not good at them though.
Brian,
No, I
get
really fucking suck. But Brian, so I lost my internet. And the first thing Brian was like, "Yeah, well, come and meet me online." Then it was like, "I fucking can't." Fucking, if I could, I would.
Brian, you should definitely check out Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. It's very good. Very anime style. I've never played a Blaze Blue game.
Well, it's an anime fighting game.
But it's Arc Systems, so the same guys from Dragon Ball.
See, I've played it.
Very similar. But what's Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is no doubt the best. I said about Dragon Ball being the best first fighting game you can have.
Yeah.
This trumps that by a mile. Because you have two attack buttons. You have a light attack and a heavy attack. Yeah. That is it.
Kind of like the original Soul Calibur.
Yeah, and you have auto combos galore. But when you start really diving deep and you go auto combo into this, auto combo into special, into resonance mode, into knocking them in the air, into air cancels, like your brother's got a combo when he gets... Your brother earlier was like a kid, like wetting himself down the thing. I was like, how the fuck did you kill me? I had half health. And he was like, oh yeah, my character's got ability that if I death mark you, then do a combo, you die instantly. And I'm like, you fucker, you absolute fucker. Like, he's like, I've been practicing that for like the last 3 days in training. So I'm like, fuck's sake. Like, I was like, Ruby, my girl, she's gone now. She was carrying my right.
So you're slowly getting a taste of what a large portion of my teenage years was. Which is even worse because my little brother is 11 years younger than me.
Is he really?
He's 11 years younger than me, and he used to kick the shit out of me in fighting games. And it was like, yeah, it's really good, but you know what, Tom? I've had sex and can drink beer. And he's like, fuck off, Dan. I'm 7. Like, right, I'm out of it, you prick. He didn't say fuck off because my mom would have killed him, but you get the
frick off, Dan.
I think he's up by... I think so. We've had over 100 fights in the game now. And I think he's up by about 7 at the moment. So
that's pretty. I'm surprised by you. I know you're good at fighting games, but I know Tommy's supposed to be legendary.
Well, because he's good, but Cross Tag Battle has this very good reversal mechanic, and Tom is very aggressive. Yeah. So I let him be aggressive and then take some of my health, and then reversal. I can punish him like fuck off the reversal, and then that's what he gets salty about because the reversal is. I like it. It's easy to perform. Like Street Fighter reversal is all about timing and it's really complex to perform. Whereas this is, you just press 2 buttons. And if you do it, time it right when they're coming into you, you get the reversal off, then you get a punish and half his health's gone.
This will be what will get him because he's so used to playing those really fucking tight games that as soon as you move him onto one where you have a little bit of leeway, it's like, that's bullshit.
That's the only thing that I would say is easy in that game. Because don't get me wrong, auto combos are easy, you just smash the button. But like, you don't auto combo on me, you're probably going to do 20%, 30% damage to me. And then at the end of the string, you're going to be very punishable because you haven't finished up with any safety moves. And with it being a tag game as well, you can call in assists. So we're at the moment got to a stage where we're trying to work out how we break the mold with combos. So you hit a combo, call in an assist to then juggle them up further, which would, because the other character hit them, resets your hit count, so then you can combo again. And although scaling, like I've seen online people doing 75% health combos like in the game.
Jesus.
So, but they are. It's all. The issue with this one is timing is everything because there's lots of times where they get it's anime, so they get like flung off screen into the air, and then as they're coming down, you got to then juggle again perfect timing. If you miss it, they fall. But it's anime, so the music is like. Just makes me go Super Saiyan every time. And Ruby, I've started watching Ruby the series.
You start watching it
because I fucking love it.
Yeah, I watched the first season, but I just for some reason never watched the rest.
Ruby is my girl. Oh, she's so hot.
She's a child.
Yeah,
she's a child
in the game. I think she might be a child as well, but she keeps like freaking out over.
She's a child. She in the watch Ruby.
No,
she literally goes to school.
Yeah. No. My issue there wasn't the fact it's a cartoon character. It actually has no age. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's a child.
It's not. It's not like my mate who used to fancy one of the S Club juniors.
But Ariel goes to school, still smashes shit.
Oh, the mermaid.
She fucking does, doesn't she?
I'd
smash the shit out of that.
Yeah, I would.
What a tender lover you are.
Jasmine gets grounded all the time. Fucking smashed the shit out of there as well.
Oh, no, not Jasmine.
And the tiger.
No, the tiger, yeah. I would smash the shit out of that tiger.
It's all about Genie for me.
It's all about who?
Genie.
I mean,
personality.
It's supposed to be like do a dead guy.
Nala's alive, mate. I'd still smash
Genie
her.
ain't dead.
What, is it too soon?
Genie,
sorry.
Genie's not dead.
Robin Williams is dead.
She's not dead.
You said it's all about the personality. The personality, therefore, was Robin Williams, and he dead.
Nala, lying. Fucking shut up there.
It's different, though, isn't it? Nala's fit.
Nala's well hot.
No.
Rafiki, take one for the team.
Take one for the team?
Yeah.
I'll take that, no problem. You kidding me?
You're going to take one for the team when we're sorted on any fucking
I'm
night
not
out,
taking
aren't
that for a team. I want to do it.
we? You want to do Rafiki?
You kidding me? The knowledge he has.
I'll have Zazu.
You do not gain knowledge from penetrating someone with your penis.
He's been doing it wrong.
Yeah, he's doing it wrong. Zazu.
Oh my God.
Zazu, man. That's those lips.
I worry about how you have sex now.
Oh, it's great.
You're gaining knowledge somehow. What
It's
is
amazing,
this?
yeah.
Some sort of ocular rape that you're performing to get through to the brainstem?
Partially.
Partial ocular. Yeah. What, have you got a split dick? So only part of your cock goes in, but the other goes
I don't want to go into
nasal.
the logistics of it at the moment.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very complicated.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you've been doing it wrong with your life, mate. Honestly.
Trust me,
Everything I
my
know.
wife has told me that many times before. But
Wrong again, Daniel.
the wrong fucking hole. And I'm like, no, it isn't. Try and walk now. It's alright, it's Patreon.
Yeah.
It's Patreon. The wife will never see this.
Should never pay for this shit.
Love it, Shaq. No, I'll get a notification, wouldn't I? I wouldn't tell you either.
No, it'd just be the next day when she
You
comes
just
in.
send a link.
What the fuck?
Could just send them a link, can I?
You know, the worst bit is you don't even have to do that. You just tell Sarah. Sarah
Yeah.
would tell my.
There you go, done.
And it
That's a
doesn't
direct
even
line.
have to
I
be true.
conveniently edit it in front of Sarah. I just need to edit this part of the photo.
It's like, oh, I can take my headphones off and just turn the volume right up.
I made Sarah watch one of the videos the other day because she came in halfway through. I was doing voiceover stuff
Yeah.
and started talking to me. And then I said to her, I was like, oh, by the way, you're in one of the videos now. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, you're in one of the videos now. What one? So I'm not going to tell you. So she's watched like 4 of the videos. And then
Yes.
she was like, no, I'm not. I was like, no, you're not really.
I edited that shit out.
Fuck up.
Genius.
But thanks for the views.
Yeah.
I hope you subscribe.
Do you know what my nephew does? He's so sweet. He makes a playlist of our videos.
Yeah.
And then puts it on play when he goes to bed with his phone charging.
Oh,
So it
genius.
just goes through our videos. Does it every night.
Nice guy.
I was like, you do know views go on IP. So you watching it 4 times, 5 times doesn't get us 4 or 5 views.
No, but you get retention rates on that.
You get
right?
retention, on the ads. Yeah, on the ads. So, yeah, but he keeps doing that.
Well,
Although we don't get retention rates at the moment because we
Okay.
don't get ads until another
long.
40 subs.
Yeah, not long.
No, not long now.
But maybe I'll
We're over
start
100,000 views.
yeah, saw that.
views.
That was good.
Yeah, I think we're 102 now.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Trev.
Yeah.
Top lads.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Lads.
I think, judging by the timer on the camera, that's
Yeah,
probably
that'd
gonna
be
wrap
it.
up.
That's all we got. Let's not say goodbye. Let's just end it.
No, because that's what we do, apparently.
Yeah, there's no,
No, we
perfect
don't. We
circumstance
say-
here.
Yeah.
You stay incredible.
No, we don't. Not
Not here.
to our patrons.
You are
We
incredible.
say you stay big, boys.
No, we don't say that either.
Okay, well,
You
we'll
are
say something.
incredible.
Well, you start on one of them, don't you? Isn't that how it always ends?
That's right.
You
Trev.
haven't started on Trev yet,
Trev. I've started Trev.
have you?
Oh yeah, Trev. Whenever you want to, throw hands, let me know.
Throw hands.
And I'll wipe the floor.
I'm
with you.
ready for the best girly fight ever. Let's go. Ah!
Yeah, 1v1 me. Come on.